Hello? How are you? Many people over 50 or 60 years old notice that as time goes by, they have more difficulty climbing a flight of stairs, carrying groceries, or even getting up from a chair or bed without someone's help or without leaning on something. This is very serious because it may be related to the loss of muscle mass, known as sarcopenia. This is a condition that can happen as we age, but it's not a sentence. Not everyone will get sarcopenia. It can and should be prevented. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how some traditional cheeses can be incorporated into your daily routine in a way that helps ensure you meet your protein needs and supports the fight against sarcopenia. You're going to love this video. Stay until the end because you won't want to miss it. Before we start, I want to ask you if you've ever experienced any of these difficulties related to loss of muscle strength. And if you've been trying to change your diet or your lifestyle, if you're already trying to exercise more. So, in your daily life, are you trying to eat more protein to reverse this? That's super important, right? Let's try to prevent sarcopenia so we can avoid having to rebuild that muscle later on when we reach a more advanced age. But even at an advanced age, it is still possible to reverse it. Yes. So if you like this kind of content, leave a like on the video so I know you enjoy it and I can bring more videos like this. And it's good too, because it shows YouTube that you trust and support my channel. That's super important to me. After a certain age, we no longer worry about the size of our arms or having defined abs. What we really want is to be able to have autonomy in our daily lives and to be able to do all those activities and meet the needs we have, right? Like the examples I gave here at the beginning of the video. So it's important for us to maintain our muscle mass. And the nutrient that will help us maintain more of this muscle mass is protein. And I know that many older people have some difficulty consuming protein. Whether because of chewing issues, since eating meat or chicken can sometimes be more difficult, many people as they get older already have dental prostheses or have lost some teeth and can no longer chew as easily. Sometimes the person also has digestive issues. Meat, chicken, or even fish can feel heavy for them, and they have more difficulty incorporating this animal protein into their daily routine. Or sometimes even a financial issue. Everything goes up except the retiree's salary. Retirement, even though it gets adjusted, is never really what they should be earning. So there's also the issue of the price of animal protein, which unfortunately is still very expensive, even though it shouldn't be. So I thought about bringing up 3 cheeses here that are high in protein, nutritious, and on top of that, do contain high biological value protein since they come from milk. So they have all the proteins you need. There's leucine, which is that trigger that flips the switch for muscle contraction. And as a bonus, there's also calcium, which helps our bones, right? As we get older, we need to prevent osteoporosis. So let's get started. I've picked out some options. 3 fantastic cheeses for us to incorporate into our daily routine. I'll save the 3rd cheese for last because you can even make it at home and there are 2 ways you can prepare it. The traditional way, or you can even transform it. The first cheese on our list here is cottage cheese, which is super rich in casein. It releases amino acids slowly and protects our muscles, especially during sleep. So if you eat it at night with some fruit or a bit of oats, it's really interesting. Normally, half a cup of it has, on average, 14 grams of protein, which is quite a significant amount of protein, especially when we think about a small meal, right? Like a late night snack, an afternoon treat, or even as a complement to your breakfast, cottage cheese fits right in. It's not usually sold salty, so as I mentioned, you can mix it with fruit just fine, with a little honey, with walnuts, and it tastes delicious. The second cheese on our list is ricotta. And it's quite rich in whey protein, which is nothing more than the same protein found in whey supplements. It digests quickly, making it perfect for muscle recovery after physical activity. And remember, if you want to maintain or rebuild muscle, physical activity is super important as well, okay? But if you can manage to exercise, you'll optimize this process even more. Ricotta is also super versatile because it can be used in fillings, salads, spreads, even in desserts if you buy unsalted ricotta, just like you would with cottage cheese. And it's a very light cheese, right? It has less fat than other cheeses and is also less processed. So it's a very healthy and interesting option for our daily lives. The third option for me is the tastiest, the most economical, and the one I use the most every day, which is fresh white cheese. In fact, I have a recipe here on the channel showing how to make fresh white cheese. To make fresh white cheese at home, you only need milk, lemon, and salt. If you want to add salt to your milk, but the salt is actually optional, right? If you don't want to add salt, you can just make it plain. I teach you how to make the cheese in my video, and I have another video teaching how to take this cheese and turn it into cream cheese, but a healthy and nutritious cream cheese. Because then it will be a source of lean protein, of calcium. And it's excellent for you to have at breakfast, for snacks, for recipes, And it has much less fat compared to aged cheese, yellow cheese, or processed cheese. Honestly, you can't even compare them. The amount of fat and the extra ingredients in store-bought cream cheese are way higher. While homemade cream cheese is much cleaner and lighter, it really makes a difference, right? You know everything that goes into it, it's much more economical and much more nutritious. You may have noticed that I personally didn't mention any yellow cheese among my cheeses here because they traditionally have more saturated fat. And as we get older, we want to reduce the amount of saturated fat in our diet to preserve our cardiovascular health. So, if you can choose one of those three I mentioned, the protein to fat ratio is much more favorable for you. Many people aren't in the habit of eating ricotta, cottage, or white cheese because they think these cheeses have less flavor since they have less fat. Here's another tip. You can season these cheeses. You can add oregano, parsley, you can add a little olive oil, black pepper, more salt if it's unsalted, the cheese you bought. You can boost the flavor with some extra seasonings, a bit of dried garlic, onion, to turn it into something like a spread. That way, you can vary its flavor and add it to different dishes without getting tired of it. Tell me, do you usually eat your cheese like this or in the traditional way? I'd love to see your comment. Remember to like the video, it really helps me out. And share it with anyone who needs it, with anyone who would enjoy these tips. Let's do this together and grow this chain of kindness. That's what I want here on the channel. See you next time. Bye.